there everyone, this is Lokuzt here. Don't worry, the Assassin's Creed videos are gonna continue, but I decided to do a different one because this month, May, this is my first year anniversary for being a content creator on Twitch and here on YouTube. Before we get into the QA session, I'm just gonna let you remind you all to subscribe to the channel if you want more Assassin's Creed content and follow me on my socials. Things are gonna be popping up everywhere. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, let's start with the first tweet from James D. James D_AC asks, a few months ago, you gave me the pro tip to try out DaVinci Resolve for video editing. You were right, it is fantastic. So in that theme, for you, what were the hardest lessons to learn about streaming that you could pass on to others? Wow, okay, yeah, this is definitely not an easy one. Honestly, I think the biggest lesson that I learned is to just do. Don't hold yourself back with excuses unless, you know, it's like if you don't have a computer, you can't stream. That's not an excuse. That's actually you can't stream. But yeah, if you don't know, try it out. You'll never know if you will like it. Of course, only do it and only continue to do it if you enjoy it. If you do not enjoy it, it's not gonna go well. Do not expect anything from anyone in the sense that no one owes you anything. So there's a lot of streamers out there who, you know, like expect people to, you know, go onto their streams or you know, interact with them. It's like no one owes you anything. Like if people are gonna enjoy watching you, they're gonna go and watch you. So, you know, just be yourself, have fun, play games. And honestly, if you ever plan to ever make it big to the big leagues, you know, just know that you have to be different in some way because there's so many streamers right now playing video games. So you have to have something different for someone else to go onto your stream besides your personality, of course. But honestly, if you ever want to stream, if you ever wondered if you're gonna have fun streaming, just try it out. All right, moving on to the next question from White Wolf Whispers. Hi Wolfie, what would you say is your favorite Assassin's Creed game and why? Well, okay, that one is a doozy. My favorite Assassin's Creed game has changed throughout the years, but I think ultimately my favorite Assassin's Creed game has to be Unity, just because I think Unity nails what the Assassin's Creed fantasy really is. Of course, the gameplay is not perfect. There's a lot of bugs. The game, you know, we all know how the game runs, but I think that idea was the seed that Assassin's Creed needed, and it's the idea, for me, that's what Assassin's Creed should have followed, should have expanded upon those ideas. And, you know, even with all those bugs and even with all that crap, it's a game that whenever I go back to, I still have loads of fun, so I have to say that it's my favorite. Okay, JJ Kronos, what time period would you like to see in an AC game, and what mechanics could it have? Oh, okay, that is like JJ. That is a tough one. Honestly, we've already explored a lot of time periods that I wanted, and honestly, I don't have a very specific one. I'm sorry, but I was always interested in some sort of South American or Central American kind of exploring those cultures and how the assassins could have influenced the discovery of America and all of that. I would have loved to see that. In terms of mechanics, I don't know. I'm not very well versed like in what, you know, at the time what they had. So, but honestly, I always say this, a good mechanic to have is an amazing combat system. So, and those weapons at the time were amazing, and I would love to see a really great combat system with all of those weapons involved. Okay, now this question, more stream related from Mayish. Cliche question, but what made you start streaming? Also, if you had the opportunity to do so, would you consider doing it full time? Well, honestly, what made me start streaming was I was at a point where I was kind of getting bored playing video games. I always felt like I wanted to express, you know, my opinions on the video games and, you know, be creative in some way. and I've always wanted to do it, but I never really had the chance. When I moved into this house, I was able to get a fast internet. I already had the computer, so I was like, okay, now that I have an internet that can support streaming, let me just try it out, you know, like I said in the very first question, let me just try it out. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, you know, like, there's no problem in that. So I just started, and in the beginning I had 0 viewers. I had no one watching me, but I still expressed my opinions. I still talked about the games, and I was always talking. A few people came in here and there, and you know, just because I was talking to them, even though they weren't speaking in chat, some of them stayed, some of them even started talking. So that was really cool. And then, you know, other viewers started appearing, started interacting more, and that was it. That was the growth from there, you know, like there's really nothing to it. And if I've ever considered doing it full time, I'm being honest here, no, never. I'm never thinking of making it full time, simply because, you know, I have a nice job, pays well, and I love it. I love what I do. So, oh, sorry, Wampus.
FBI, open up!
So I don't see ever stopping my work for something that streaming is really competitive. You're always competing against other streamers, and I think it's very stressful. If you're going to do it full time, it's going to be a battle. If you really want to go up and not down, you're gonna have to work every single day, every single hour, making content, working social medias. It's not simple, and it's something that, you know, I don't 100% identify with. In my social medias, I tend to be very straightforward and very real. Like, I don't sugarcoat things, and I say what I mean, and I don't like just working social media for the algorithm, right? Because if you want to grow on your stream, if you want to go full time, grow your stream, you're gonna have to work the algorithms. You're gonna have to work YouTube algorithm. You're gonna have to work Twitter algorithm. You're gonna have to work Instagram algorithm. Every single algorithm there is, you're gonna have to work it really well in order to grow. So that's something that I really don't see myself doing. And as I said, I love my job. So the answer is no to the full time. All right, let's talk Assassin's Creed. Says, if you could hang out with anyone from the Assassin's Creed games, who would it be? Okay, that is a nice question. Thank you. Honestly, it's so hard. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go off the beaten path, and I would have to say probably one of the most fun people to probably hang out with would either be Leonardo da Vinci or Yusuf. So I can't really, I can't pick between one or the other. I don't know. Let's just go with Leo. I would hang out with Leonardo da Vinci, you know, for sure. All right, moving on to the next question. Kyle Marvell asks, if the next AC game is exactly like Valhalla, but in a different time period, would you be excited and would you play it? Would I play it? Yes. It's Assassin's Creed, so I really want to be involved in the story, and Valhalla has an amazing story, so yes, for sure I would play it. But would I be excited? In terms of story, yes. In terms of gameplay, not so much. I've been very vocal about me not enjoying the gameplay in these new games too much. I find it very, very simplistic, and I don't like the RPG formula of numbers and all of that. So in terms of gameplay, no, but in terms of story, yes. All right, this question is from Luck. Hello. How did you get into Assassin's Creed? Well, this is a funny story. I was actually studying history for school, and I had the TV on a really old video game TV show that used to run, and I was almost like splitting attention between the homework and the TV. And I think it was after the E3 or whatever conference where Assassin's Creed was revealed. And it was after that, because I wasn't really paying attention to the conferences, and they started playing a trailer. And I caught it, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly the kind of game that I like, you know, like knights, medieval stuff. I wasn't paying attention to the assassin stuff at first, but that's what caught my eye. And then I went, searched online, started binging the trailers, binging the gameplay, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And at first I didn't have a PS3 because the games came out on the PS3 and Xbox first, and I didn't have any one of those systems, so I had to play on my friend's house the Assassin's Creed PS3 version, and I was just mesmerized by the gameplay and the bits of story that I did watch. I was always intrigued, and then the PC version came in, and boom, that hit me like an out of control car. And ever since then, I've been an extreme fan. So, thank you for the question, Luck. All right, let's move on to Michael Smith. What do you want to see this next year for Assassin's Creed? Wow, okay, that's a good question. Yeah, there are very good questions here. So next year, let's say next year, I don't know if they're gonna bring any new games out or whatever, but let's say the next iteration of Assassin's Creed, I would honestly like to see a revamped gameplay, revamped game design philosophies. I think right now, the RPG, very witchery formula, I think we've already had 3 games with it and with not many changes, and I think the gaming industry is moving on so fast. Look at games like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2. I think gaming is going to a whole nother level, and I think the Assassin's Creed games following the Witcher formula are kind of like going, staying behind a little bit, and I would love to see them, just jump the shark and improve things like cloth physics. The combat systems, parkour is very important. The stealth is very important as well. Give us tools. And they have like a slew of games to take inspiration from. And honestly, besides getting inspiration, I would love to Assassin's Creed to go back to inspiring other games instead of just being inspired by other games. So that's what I would love to see. I don't really care about settings, like what setting is it on. There's no time period that I specifically want. So I just want a good one, a good story, and then the gameplay needs to tie it all up together, So that's what I would want for Assassin's Creed. And all right, that is all the questions that we had. Thank you so much for everyone who's been supporting me throughout this entire year. It's been an amazing ride. Thank you all for the questions. It really means a lot to me, and I hope that you were satisfied with my answers. I hope that I wasn't like vague or talky too much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I do weekly videos of Assassin's Creed content and sometimes other games peppered throughout. I also stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So if you ever want to see really cool variety gaming, hit me up on twitch.tv/Lokuzt_SW. And I see you all then. Bye everyone.